Hello and welcome to Up the Villa podcast. If you're new to our channel, subscribe. We're well on the way to 6,000 subscribers and drop this video a like. If you've not already watched it, check out our Nigel Spink episode. He was talking about that night in Rotterdam. It was a real good episode and it's gone down really well. Everybody's it's bringing back nostalgic memories. So what we want you to do in the comment section as well is rate our January transfer window. Yes, it's not over, but we will be back if we do make a big signing, a big CDM signing on deadline day. But we're going to rate the window of the signings that we've had. So it doesn't feel like a January transfer window, does it? It feels like we've just come out of a summer transfer window. The business that we've done, we've rectified certain areas that were weak in, we've strengthened. And we've brought in some top quality in Coutinho. Emi Martinez has signed a brand new deal, which is absolutely huge. We've seen Keenan Davis go on loan, score 2 goals in 2. Cameron Archer's gone out on loan, scored 1 against the Baggies. So, yes, Agent Archer doing bits. And Wesley has also bagged a goal on his loan stint in Brazil as well. So, there's some good stories all around. It's annoying that Aston Villa haven't played a game, but, there's certain things that are keeping us all interested in. So, I'll kick it off and I'm going to go with a solid 9 for this window. I think it's been the best January transfer window I've ever seen in my lifetime. The quality that we've brought in has just been tremendous. We've strengthened in key areas. And one main thing for me is that I feel like preparation now for next season is going to be absolutely crucial. The pre-season, we've got a strong, healthy squad that are going to be going into pre-season next season, all vying and fighting to start the first game. And I think in years gone by, we've saw like Emi Buendia coming in at the start. We've saw players coming in the middle, like Leon Bailey, Ings coming in at the end, losing certain players. And it's all been just a bit disjointed, but I feel like it's going to set us up for next season in top shape. And hopefully this little pre-season that we're having now and this run towards the end of the season is going to be absolutely crucial. So for me, it's a 9. Yes, I know people are going to be commenting on the CDM role, but I think for me, my personal opinion is let's be patient. Let's get it right. Let's not overspend for the sake of it and getting a player that maybe 3rd and 4th choice. I don't think it's crucial that we need a CDM now. I think we can wait for the summer and let's just bring in top quality and get the signing that we need to make to push us into Europe. So that's my little points on it, how I feel we are, how I feel we're shaping up. But yeah, get in the comments and let me know your score. But I'm going with a solid 9. Justin, do you want to kick us off with your thoughts?
I'm going to be slightly a bit meaner than you. I'm going to say an 8. Solely because I was hoping we would get that defensive midfielder in. I think that's the one key area at the start of the window we was all praying we would fill first, really, because we know that's one of the big gaping holes in the team at the moment, isn't it? So, but I'm not disappointed by the window by any stretch of the imagination. If you'd have said at the start we'd done the business we were going to do, then I'd been over the moon. I think we said at the start of the window when we did a preview of it, it's the toughest window to do business in, isn't it? To get any kind of quality in is very, very difficult. So to set the ball rolling with Philippe Coutinho, it's just a mind-blowing signing for us, really, isn't it? And it was the iconic signing we needed, wasn't it? The marquee signing to set it all off. I think we've been good with Luca Dean. I think we took advantage of the Everton situation there. We all knew we needed some kind of cover or extra player at left back. We've decided to just upgrade the left back position instead of bringing in cover, which I think is now the important thing to do. I think whatever we do now, buy players, we have to buy better than we've got, and that just improves the team and the squad. So Luca Dean over the moon with Philippe Coutinho, absolutely buzzing. Just praying he can continue till the end of the season. Then we can make that deal permanent and he become a player of our folklore history. Then, won't he? Hopefully, that's what I'm praying for. And then Robin Olsen, yes, feel a little bit sorry for Jed Steer. He's never really let us down, has he? But we are a little bit thin there. So I think that was another good signing. I don't know a lot about him. But yeah, he's probably not going to play much. Might not even see him in the shirt. So it's an interesting one. I suppose I'll look at him behind the scenes and make a decision whether he's going to be the backup keeper going forward. And then Callum Chambers out the blue, wasn't it, last week? We spoke about it. Another very, very clever signing, in my opinion. Free transfer, bags of experience, played in the Premier League for years. Don't really see any flaws, and in that one, can play multiple positions. So overall, I think we're absolutely buzzing with it. Interesting one as well. I think it's a very important one, slightly on the radar, was the Kessler Hayden one, bringing him back. I think that's a big thing for us as well. I think by the look of it, with a day to go, it doesn't seem like he's going to be loaned out again. So it looks like now he's a firm part of the first team squad. And then overall, the best bit of business from me this window was tying Emi Martinez down to the long-term deal like you. So I think that's fantastic. A real sought-after player. He would have been if we hadn't tied him down. So he's committed to us. We're committed to him. We love him. So overall, perhaps I'm being a bit unfair with that, but I think just the cherry on the icing on the cake would have been the defensive midfield. But I agree with you. I don't want to go mad for one now if we can't get the right one. So I'm happy to wait for the summer.
Yeah, Hannah, what would you go with?
I'm going to join you, Luke, on the 9, I think. Because like Justin's, he's covered lots of good points there, but the main one being how difficult January is in general to do business. If we look at our past January windows, even just the one since we've been back in the Premier League, some of the deals have been quite shocking, haven't they? So to have a January window where it's felt so controlled, targeted, no panic, has just been really nice. We've also got to remember this is Gerrard's first attempt at getting his own players in. So we were never going to go out in January and completely burst the bank on loads of different players, because this was about Gerrard coming in, targeting a couple of areas that he thought were the most key, getting in the perfect player for that role, which genuinely I think we have achieved. I think the Lucas Digne signing was great because we've really strengthened that position. We've obviously got the excitement of a Marquis Coutinho signing, creative spark with, obviously, we've got players out at the African Cup of Nations. We've got Leon Bailey injured, so that was obviously a key thing to get some creativity. We needed a backup centre-back with Axel going out, so the Callum Chambers, you've got an all-round sturdy package there who can cover a lot of multitude of positions. We've obviously got another backup keeper. Again, obviously that was something that Gerrard thought was important. And obviously we've got Emi Martinez, who, again, like Justin said, is an absolute massive thing for this window, is to tie him down, because sometimes it's not just about bringing new players in, it's about securing the key ones you already got in the squad. So for all those reasons, I'd give it a 9. And I think, like you have both touched on, the elephant in the room is always the defensive midfielder, and it's sort of been going on for the last couple of years. We've had the disappointment of losing Nakamba, which I think has sort of amplified the discussion of needing that number 6. But I think in this position in January, where it's so difficult to get the right player, and having a manager in who's clearly not going to go for a player unless it's the right player at the right price, I'm not too annoyed. I don't think it's urgent. It's not like we've got nobody to play in that role. Yes, it's not perfect, but again, we go again in a few months' time. How many games got left? 17. So it's not like we're playing a whole season without a defensive midfielder. So in general, I think this sets us up on a lovely platform for summer to not have to go out and buy 5 or 6 players and get a whole new half a squad. I think it's more so going to be about actually offloading our players now in summer, freeing up some space, and then bringing in 1 or 2 more really key players to that defensive midfield role, and whoever else we may need at that point. So it's really great to sort of have this nice platform from January now, where we can sort of finish the rest of the season strong. We've had a really great process also of Gerrard bringing a load of the youngsters back, which I think was really interesting, because obviously we had a big chunk of them out on loan in League 2, League 1, and to see them come back, clearly be reviewed, some sent out, some kept in. I think that was also really important, because we're going to get to see how they develop either back in the under 23s or stepping up to the first team, or going out and getting some more minutes in an even better loan. So I feel we've covered it from all bases. So when July time comes round, life will hopefully be a lot easier for the recruitment staff, who are just going then to get one or two final players to sort of hopefully complete this squad that we're building.
Yeah, I think the other key thing is that, you know, if you're looking at, say, Coutinho's got an option to buy, so if he does really well, we can sign him. Luca Dean, quality. Chambers, great backup. So the signings that we've made are signings that are going to be with us in the future. They're going to be on the journey with us. They're going to be here next season. You see it so many times in January where you're scrambling around for a signing that's just going to look at Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? You still don't know whether they're going to be in the Premier League, whether they're going to be in the Championship. You know, they're scrambling around the market trying to just find something for like here and now, just for a salvage job, basically. But it just doesn't feel like we're in that salvage job mode. It feels like we're preparing, which is really, really good. And like we're saying, in the summer, I don't feel like we're going to need to do massive amounts of business. It's going to be one or two. And like Hannah said, it's going to be like offloading a few to maybe make way and stuff like that. So I think this window's it's set us up so well. Ryan, what are you going with?
I will go for a happy medium. I'll go 8.5. But yeah, I'm totally with you on setting ourselves up. It's like a little starter, isn't it? We've just got a head start on the summer. Coutinho, my God, Coutinho in a Villa shirt, scoring on his debut against Man United to pull us back from 2-0 down. Unreal. And to think that Coutinho is on our books, it's crazy, really, because like, people say he's been unsuccessful the last 4 years. He's won the league in Spain and he's won the league in Germany with Bayern Munich. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's unreal. And who in Barcelona in the last 3 years has come out of any credit? Messi left, Suarez left, Griezmann left. You know, no one's come out of credit. They've been on decline. So it's a huge coup for us. It just raises our profile. It will raise our brand. And that is my favourite signing. Luca Dean as well. Again, it's an upgrade on the position. More suited to the style that Gerrard wants to play. It gives us that edge attacking-wise from that full-back position, which is pretty much a box-to-box position, isn't it? You're expected to be up and down that line all game, and he's got the ability to do that. He's set pieces as well. We've seen the goal, Buendias against Everton, where he's cracking corner in. And how often have we hit the first man from corners? Now we've got Coutinho and Luca Dean that will ping them in. So that's all good. Matty Target, feel a bit sorry for him, but it is what it is. You move on, and you know, Matty Target was fantastic for us in the flat back four, and maybe in the future he will continue to battle and fight and not give up on his Aston Villa jersey. So you know, we are building a squad now where we're going to have two decent options in each position, and that's great if you're in Europe. So next year, if we have got these options, I fully expect us to go for both cup competitions, take that super serious, especially with the squad that we're building. So, delighted with him as well. Olsen, again, adds competition on the training pitch, doesn't he? He's got over 50 caps for Sweden. He's well experienced, so he'll push Martinez day in, day out, as well as Steer. So, happy with that, because like you say, if anything was to happen to Martinez, you've only got Steer, and Steer, yes, he's a good backup, but he's also injury prone as well. So, good move bringing that backup in. And Chambers, versatile, 115 Premier League appearances, more than any of our back lines. So, again, can play central defensive midfield, he can play right back, he's a centre half, so very, very versatile. So, super pleased with it. And like you touched on with the youth players as well, look, Barry weren't working out, brought him back, got him moved to Swindon. We know how well Kessler done there. He's loved by the Swindon fans, so hopefully Barry can replicate that. Raki as well, he weren't getting game time at Stockport, so he's gone back and he's at Notts County now as well. So, and Archer doing bits against the Baggies, you got to love it. So, so all round, superb. And obviously the Martinez contract as well. Love it.
Did anyone see that fan on Twitter? They want the club back, don't they? Right. Anyway, so the transfer window is still open. So we will touch on 3 players that are linked with a move away from Villa then. So I've saw today, Matt Targett is linked with a move from the Athletic reporting that Newcastle are interested in Matt Targett. We've seen rumours of Dougie Luiz linked with Arsenal. That sort of one's not gone away, has it? And we're also seeing that Trez is going to be going out on loan as well. So I've got a little cheeky vibe that we may still bring in one more player. And I do maybe think it might depend on whether Luiz and Targett do go of a combined fee. Now, this is just my little thought process, but maybe if we get big funds, we might see a bid for a CDM. Does anyone want to add anything on those 3 little rumours?
I just think at the moment, unless we have got a CDM that's like ready to come in, I think I wouldn't want to see. I think the Trezeguet one's a bit different because I don't think he's going to get much game time. I don't think Bailey's going to be long before he's back. Traore, I think, will be ahead of him as well. Obviously, Buendia and Coutinho ahead of him, so he's not going to get much game time. So I do think we're probably coming towards the end of his time at the Villa now, so probably he'll want to go and play football. I don't really want to see Targett leave at the moment unless it's for silly money, and which possibly could happen with Newcastle if they do get desperate. And the Douglas Luiz one, it's a difficult one because he is a cracking footballer. He's only 23. You know, would we be a bit silly to let him go as it stands? If we brought a 6 in, then we're going to be stacked with centre midfielders, aren't we? We're going to have like 4 really good 8s. So it's a balancing act now for Gerrard. It depends on how he wants to stack the squad now and what he wants to do. We all want to see a defensive midfielder in. I've changed my tack a little bit. There's one defensive midfielder I'd love us to go after, but I think it'll have to be a summer move, and it all depends on how they finish the season. I think it'll be very difficult to get him, but I'd love to see us go after Calvin Phillips. I think he would be perfect for us. I do. English.
Is he linked with? He's linked with West Ham, isn't he?
Yeah,
50 million.
Right. I mean, if he's around that mark, which he's going to be, I would think where they're thinking of spending that kind of money, I think it's a no-brainer. I think he's top quality. Yeah, I would. If you imagine Calvin Phillips in that midfield with that team, I think he would lift that team to another level, I think, because he's quality in that position. He's done a superb job for England. And that will be where I would like to see the money spent.
Is this another exclusive, like when you dropped the Coutinho the day before?
Well,
is this what we're gearing up to?
I'll tell you what, if we saw Calvin Phillips, I ain't doing a podcast on that because them Leeds fans are coming after me.
We know what they're like in the comments.
I'm doing one.
I'm not trying to sign players, but they're struggling a bit, aren't they? They're not the team they were last season. Yes, they've had a lot of injuries. I don't think Bielsa is going to be there much longer. I really don't, because that's just the way he rolls. He comes in and out of clubs, and we are going places. So that's another significant, intent, isn't it? If you go and get a player like him, there's some good foreign defensive midfielders. Boubacar Kamara, I really like. The lad that looks like it's faded away now, the Juventus lad, Bentancur, looks like that's not happening. But for me, a player like Calvin Phillips would be phenomenal for us. Would you all agree?
Yeah, I would.
Completely.
The thing is with Douglas Luiz, like you say, I've said on the last video that I want him to stay. I'd like him to sign a new deal and stay with us, because I feel like he's going to be one of them that if he ever did leave, you're going to look back and he's going to have a really good career. I've just got that vibe. That's just how I feel he's going to do. A bit like Veretout, a bit like Idrissa Gana. There is a player there, but the one thing that I can't get my head around is that his deal's coming up. Do you know what I mean? And if he doesn't sign a new deal by the summer, he's only got a year left. And that puts us not in a very good position to even get anywhere near the 30, 35 mil that we could probably get in January. So we all know as a football club, we need to be making money. And if you're getting 35 mil for a player that's got 17 months left on his contract, that's decent, to be fair. So it's just where Gerrard sees him as well, which is crucial. I'll put a tweet out, that said that I trust Gerrard to get this CDM position right, because there's no better person to know what we need in that position. So the Luiz one, I'm just not sure if it's a case of him staying and we get nothing. I'd rather us get 35 mil if he's not going to sign a new deal.
Yeah, I think what's slightly unnerving at the minute, I mean, I think earlier in the week there might have been some mumblings that perhaps he was going to be in talks of a new deal. So whether that was actually true or not, I don't know. But if it was, and obviously we haven't heard anything, has his head been turned and is he not going to sign that contract? At which point we do need to sell and get as much as we can for him. And I would be a bit disappointed. I really would like to keep him. And I think it's strange from the club to have not offered him anything. I feel like if we were intent on keeping him, would we not have opened up talks by now? Because look, at all our best players.
I've got a sneaky feeling about that, though. I wonder whether maybe they are thinking of offering a contract and they've started to maybe talk to his agent. But with all the noise surrounding this defensive midfielder that everybody wants and the club know we need, and it's going to be, you would think, a big name, hopefully, that would just slot straight in. Is he just playing the game thinking, if I sign a new deal now, I'm committing myself for 4 years, whereas I might not be playing, I could be out the team.
Yeah.
So is he playing the game a little bit? Does he want us to maybe see what we do, maybe in the summer, and then commit himself? I don't know.
It's a good point. Like, we've seen it throughout the last couple of years that our owners everyone in our football hierarchy seems to tie down our players when they know that we've got something good going. Like, we've seen all of our spine of our team, latest being Martinez, signing new contracts. So I've always thought every time we're talking about new deals, we're going to offer Luiz anything, and it never seems to come. So I'm just a bit apprehensive, and I don't know what's happening. And then I think we had this discussion off air about obviously now he's got a girlfriend in the women's team, and he's also, I think he's moved house and he's got all his family in Birmingham and he's just settling, and he's now got fellow South Americans in the team. I feel like if he was ever going to sign a new deal, surely it would be now, when he's finally sort of getting into that comfort zone of being in this country, in this city, around new players. And it just, I don't know, I find it a bit worrying, because I would really like to keep him.
It wouldn't surprise you if Villa just completely blindsided us again and he'd sign a new contract tomorrow. Because we operate so quietly and so bang to the point, and it's just like, who even seen the Martinez deal coming? No one. Chambers, no one. Danny Ings, no one. And that's how we're operating lately, isn't it? So it wouldn't surprise me if Luiz gets tied down.
There's another player that you have to throw into the mix, though. We've got another young kid coming through that hasn't signed the deal as well, Chukwuemeka. Now, would it be the end of the world if you got 35, 40 million quid for Luiz now, signed a top quality 6, and then Chukwuemeka signed a new deal? Do you know what I mean? Would Luiz signing that long-term deal be another problem for Chukwuemeka to sign a long-term deal, because it's yet another player that's potentially ahead of him? Ramsey's pretty much set, McGinn's pretty much set in the team. Sanson's a bit different case because he's in and out. Luiz is in that mix with he'd be in the top 3, wouldn't he? He'd be between two out of the 3 at the moment, wouldn't it? If we had a 6 between Luiz, McGinn, and Ramsey. So is that just blocking Chukwuemeka's path even more?
The thing for me now, right, if you're a decent player and you back yourself, right, you can see that Villa are moving forward. We're probably one of the most progressive clubs in the Premiership at the minute. So if you back yourself as a good player and you want to be part of that, you wouldn't be thinking, if I sign a deal now, I might not be playing in 6 months' time. You've got the shirt now, and it's up to you to hold it. And for me, if you're an Aston Villa player, that should be your mentality.
It is, but I don't think it's just that, is it? I think it's the agents in their ears, isn't it? I think all that team, they all back themselves to play. But if you've got, it does seem that Chukwuemeka's agent's probably in his ear all the time. I can get you a move here, I can get you a move there. If you're not playing in the first team, let's think about it carefully. You have got the power with your contract running down. So I think they all probably back themselves. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because we've gone from having little sort of midfield options to potentially having loads. So you've just got to back, like Luke said earlier, back the manager that he knows, he sees them day in, day out. He knows the the players he wants to keep. So,
And I mean,
just trust him.
does Gerrard see Louise under Nakamba? Do you know
Exactly,
what I mean?
you got Nakamba to go back in.
We want to bring in a CDM, but it might be the new one, Nakamba and Douglas Luiz. Like,
I don't think he sees Louise as a defensive midfielder. I think he said that, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he said that he's
saw in that spell for those few games when Gerrard first came in, and he was sort of playing Nakamba in the 6 and Louise more of an 8, or him and John McGinn were sort of overlapping with the wide fullback. So, and I actually think he looked quite good in that position. So
he did.
Man City and Crystal Palace, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he stuck out, and I thought he looks good there. So whether Gerrard sees him as more of that player, but obviously at the minute we can't play in there. We haven't got anyone else to play the defensive role. But it's like without Nakamba here, there's very little option, and also it's also you've got to think if you can get £40 million, which seems ridiculous for Douglas Luiz, even 30 million. It's a great amount of money, and you'd take it, but you'd have to take it knowing you were going to have a good player coming in. At the minute, we don't know that we're going to have a good player coming in, so I don't see us getting rid of Luiz unless we know 100% that there's someone else that we can get in before the end of the window, which is just over 24 hours time. So I
don't think they'll leave now.
Yeah, it would have to be a massive turnaround of getting in a replacement in that period of time.
Cool.
Do you think we'd sell Matty Target for 30 mil?
Oh yeah,
100%. And I
you've got Ashley Young, haven't you, as well?
Yeah. And double your money on him.
Yeah.
Well, if Newcastle come, then it's an extra 10 on top of whatever what we're on.
It's not a bad position to be in, is it? About all these players.
No, because at the end of the day,
quality, aren't they?
We don't need to sell Matt Target. If you want to buy Matt Target, you pay what we say. Simple.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll end the pod there then. Right, so get in the comments down below and rate our January transfer window. If we do sign someone tomorrow, then I will be on and I will do a little reaction to that and my thoughts. So yeah, thank you for watching. Up the Villa.
Up the Villa.